After defying mammoth odds in a mind-bending loss to the Wizards, the Nets rebounded with an impressive 124-120 win against the Clippers on Tuesday. While the trio of Kevin Durant, James Harden and Kyrie Irving has been mostly thrilling to watch, it's also given up some absolutely whackadoodle scoring numbers: 125 points to the Thunder, 149 points to the Wizards, 124 points to the Heat. Defense is the no. One talking point when it comes to Brooklyn, an improvement on that end is something coach Steve Nash and the players have answered questions about after nearly every game and practice. And yet, after watching the Nets shot making down the stretch against the Clippers, I think it's much more fun to wonder whether Brooklyn can win a championship without slowing anybody down. You've by now almost certainly heard the phrase, "defense wins championships." It's mostly true. From 2010 to 20, only two teams won titles with a defensive rating outside of the top 10, the 2016 Cavaliers and the 2018 Warriors. Both squads just barely missed the mark. They were less than 1 point per possession outside of the top 10 in their respective seasons. The former also had to overcome a 3-1 deficit to win, and the latter was a team that could not have had less use for the regular season. It also should be noted that Irving performed spectacularly for the Cavs down the stretch of the 16 finals, including hitting the series-clinching three, while Durant was the MVP of the 18 finals, which ended in a sweep. Erick W. Rasco, Sports Illustrated. After the win against the Clippers, the Nets have the 25th best defense in the NBA. Teams like that typically don't even make the finals, let alone have a chance of winning them. The 2018 Cavs are a notable exception. They were the recipient of that Durant sweeping, courtesy of the league's second-worst defense that year. The Durant-Harden-Irving trio has played 155 minutes in 5 games together, and Brooklyn has a 118.2 defensive rating with those three on the floor, and only a 0.5 net. There is some hope for the closing group, at least. When the Nets' star trio is flanked by Joe Harris and Jeff Green, they have a 108.7 defensive rating, an above-average mark. However, if there's any team that can break the trend of needing a stingy defense to win a championship, it has to be this Nets squad. The shot-making display Brooklyn put up against the Clippers, who have two of the best perimeter defenders in the league in addition to heavily switchable lineups, was absurd. There was a 5-minute stretch in the fourth quarter of Tuesday's game which the Nets began trailing by 5, then leading by 10 thanks to a 21-6 run. 21 points in 5 minutes. In that stretch, Brooklyn scored thanks to a KD pull-up, a Kyrie 3, an absurd Kyrie layup, a Kyrie 3, a Harden step-back 3, a KD long 2, 3 free throws for Harden and then a KD 3 for good measure.